Sometimes ago, I met with a lady. She's a student of my university, and she met me and said, "Sir, I wanted to see you." I said, "What is the problem?" She was looking troubled. She was confused and quite disturbed. And I looked at her and calmed her down. And then I began to ask her. And she said, "I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it." And she was willing to even quit schooling. And when I began to press further and look at what, not just what she was saying, but look at deeper beyond uh, our discussion, I began to ask her about her home and what has been going on in her house or in her home with her parent, how is her brother, and all that. And boom, I got the I got the problem. I was able to tap into the root of the problem. She opened up and began to speak. I understood that the problem was not with her memory, but the problem was with some words that were uttered. Um, Her mother spoke those words to her, probably in anger, and since then, those words stuck with her. And now the words imprisoned her and became a shackle. Her problem was not just about schooling, her problem was bigger than that. And that was how we began to, we met every week. I encourage her and encourage her. I will counsel her. Gradually, her confidence returned. Gradually, light uh, uh, was opened. I mean, she saw the light. Why she should move. She should move away from those words which were spoken to her. And I also make her to understand that there's no reason to hate her mother, because there's another big problem sometimes we make. Because hating someone is in itself, again, a prison that will keep a man in the past. So when you forgive, you're actually doing a favor to yourself. It's an advantage to yourself, because it completely removes a heavy weight, like a big weight you have been carrying has been removed when you forgive. And that's an important thing. So I went through a lot with her, and and I'm so happy today that she has graduated and already pursuing her master's degree. But my encounter with her and many other students uh, taught me a lot of lessons. And some of it I want to share today, some of the key points. I really want to share some of these key points. The first thing I saw that in my encounter with students and counseling many students, especially those who were struggling, and then later on I discovered that it's not about the academics. It's about so many things that were happening in their life, especially coming from home, and particularly in regard to words that were spoken to them by their parents or by their teachers or by some other people in the community. And the first word I want to the first lesson I could glean from all my interaction with this beautiful and wonderful young student is that words can bring identity crisis. Words can bring identity crisis. And words actually that were spoken when a person is quite young, or a person while a person was a child, those words can become a prison for those people. And those words will shape how they see themselves. And that's why, that's the first thing I think I was able to learn as I keep interacting with these people, that what could create identity crisis for a person. The second point is that a wounded mind struggle to succeed. A wounded mind struggle to succeed. As I said, I discovered that many are struggling in school not because they have a very bad memory or they are not intelligent. No, they are struggling because of something bigger, something that has imprisoned them, some words that have kept them in chains, that kept their mind in chains, not able to explore its power. And that's an important thing. So when a person is wounded in the mind, it actually stops or hinder the person from progress. The third thing that is key, which I was able to learn, is that encouragement is a lifeline. Encouragement is a lifeline. When I began to speak with the lady I gave the story at the beginning of this video, as I encourage her, again, words were the one that kept her in shackles. Again, words can as well liberate a person. So, my words became a lifeline. I kept encouraging her, and I met with her every week and ensured that I kept encouraging her, telling her what she could be, telling her that she can do it, telling her and encouraging her, giving her examples of people that thought that were dull before, but they were not. Telling her a lot of stories of how so many people pull through. And those words that I keep telling her suddenly began to reproduce, began to make sense to her. Suddenly, those words opened her eyes. Those words opened her eyes, and she saw the light and confidence return. And suddenly, she began to do well, even in her studies. Now, the fourth thing I learned as well is that consistent support build resilience. Consistent support build resilience. Now, my meeting with her actually changed because I had to make it consistent. Now, this is actually for a lot of us that are in the space where we counsel a lot, we teach, we encourage a lot. We need to make it consistent. We need to make it consistent. As I said, each time I see a young person, I try to use my word positively. I encourage people. I do that when I enter the class. I speak to students. Not just only that I just teach and go away. I teach biochemistry. So I try to tell them that there's more they can do. And those words that I say to students in the class, outside the class, consistently, I see it building them. I see it building them and building resilience. Even the student that it seems they are weak, I begin to see that they are confident. Some of them will come to me and say, "Sir, thank you for those." And sometimes because we can be busy and maybe I'm too busy and work was so much and I might likely forget. And some of them really notice. I will come to the class this week, I'll say nothing. Next week, I'll say nothing. Some of them will come to me and say, "Sir, why is it that you stop telling us those stories, those words that encourage us?" I say, oh, sorry. I say, "Oh, has it been helpful?" I say, "Wow, those things has helped me," and all that. And I understood that, wow, so these people are listening. These beautiful, wonderful people are listening. And it encouraged me to begin to use my word productively. The fifth point is you are not your past words. You are not your past words. Now, this is particularly for young people that are listening to me, or even older people who have received a lot of bad news from people some people have said terrible things to you in the past. I want you to know that your past words, they are not you. You are not those past words. Refuse those words. That's what I'm trying to say. Refuse them. Refuse them. You are not your past word. I want to encourage you to see beyond what somebody has said concerning you that is bad. Look at that. You are not what those people said. And I don't want you to agree with the opinion of one or two people concerning you. Because one person should not actually tie your destiny. One person cannot be the correct prophet that said something about you that you will continue to use it. No. You must look that there are many people around you that have supported you, your friends, your other family members, your teachers, there are so many people that believe that something good is in your life. Can you see it? And that's one thing I want you to get. So you must drop and actually fight those words that were said. Fight them. You're not those words. I mean, fight those words. And you can do it. You can't live. You can't continue to live in those, reflecting those past words. That's one thing I want you to get. The sixth thing is that graduation is definitely more than just academics. When I spoke those words and I encouraged that young, beautiful, wonderful student, and I'm happy that, yes, she graduated. But the issue, as I said earlier on, the problem was not just with her memory. The problem was that she was kept in prison by the words that her mother spoke to her. And what am I saying? I'm just saying that when a mind is liberated from those shackles, from those words that were spoken, what happened is that it liberates the person to move into a different horizon, a different moment in his or her life. And this is very important. So, and that's why graduation for me, especially in regards to that very student, was not just about that she was able to finish her studies. But no, today she's liberated. Today she is no longer under the influence of what was said to her. And this is very powerful. Your words today will echo tomorrow. And this is the 7th point. This one is for, this point particularly is to teachers. If you're a teacher, you're a parent, or you're a guardian, or you're somebody, or you're a leader, someone in place of authority, I want you to know that your words can echo. Your word today can echo tomorrow. That means our words are powerful as teachers. Our words are powerful as parents. Our words are powerful as leaders. And we must choose to use our word to bring encouragement, to encourage young people, to encourage our children. Our words must give life. Yes, our words must give life. I'm speaking to parents. Our words must give life. We must say things we want our children to be. The world is full of a lot of problems. We want to bring out product from our homes, from our schools that will solve the problems of the world. We don't want to add to the problem of the world. And that's why it's important and for us to know that our words carry power. Our words carry power. They can bring down a person, but they can also give life. They can also give life. And we must use our words to actually give life. We must use our words to give life. The 8th point which I learned is that every life can turn around. Oh, I believe this. I believe this. Every life can turn around. I've met with a lot of students whose case look, oh my God, as if nothing good will come out. But as we start the process of going through the problem and bringing solution, bringing encouragement, gradually, a person who initially look as if there's no point this one is going to make it, become something different completely, different positively, different in terms of resilience, in terms of success, even in school, in academics, in many of the things later on that the person gets involved. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to speak and to make us understand that there is no one that cannot be changed. I believe so. Of course, people respond to change differently. People respond to encouragement, love differently. But one thing that is certain, even though people respond to change differently, people respond to counsel differently. But I believe I've seen many people, some of the students I have spoken, I've had the privilege of counseling. Some of them within just 2 weeks, they are back. Some of them had to take up to a month, 2 months, 3 months talking. Some of them had to go beyond that. But the point I'm trying to say is that people can respond. We have to believe the best concerning people. And that's why anybody I meet, no matter how bad the person looks, I believe in the best of that person. And I believe that that person can have a turnaround. I've seen people who are addicted completely have a U-turn. I've seen many people. So in my journey, even as an educator, I've seen a lot of things that have happened to a lot of students. Now, the ninth point that I want to point out, and for now, is that be the voice that heals, not the voice that hurts. Be the voice that heals, not the voice that hurts. And that's my last message for you, that as you go around, whatever you're doing, ensure that you be the voice that gives life, the voice that encourages, the voice that gives hope, the voice of reason, the voice that points to people the best way, the better way, and not the voice that brings down, not the voice that hurts. Now, we're in a time of social media where we have a freedom of speech, and I want to say that you have to be careful with how you speak. Not because necessarily somebody tomorrow will jail you or whatever, or will file a case of defamation or all that. But I think as human beings, we need to be conscious of, if you are for the good of the society, you have to learn how to use your words. Words are powerful. That's a message. Words are powerful, and we must know it. We must believe in what it can do. Over the years, as I talk to people, as I talk to young people, I discover that my words can do wonders, and my words can go a long way of making the society a better place, and making the nations a better place, making the world a better place. And I want you to use your words and use your voice to be able to encourage and not to bring down. But I want you to know that you are loved, and then you are beautiful, and you are wonderful, and you are the solution to the world. And I want you to see that.